My name is Joe. I'm an alcoholic addict. I am also artist, photographer. I will always be an alcoholic addict, but I have been recovered for 20 years.
Some good's got to come out of that one.
I drank for 30 years. The only time I was sober, which I might not have even been that sober, was when I was 8 hours when I was working. Thank God I kept my job. I am an artist now with Chalk Gallery. I've been with them for about 10 or 12 years, and that's been a blessing for me. When I was able to pick up my camera was like a new beginning. I was able to get away from my addiction and have a new addiction. It was addiction with my camera. I love it.
Got that one.
My mom bought an old Polaroid camera when I was about 13 or 14 years old. I would position my brothers and the neighbors like if they were boxing or something and take pictures of them. So that's how I got started in the photography. Thanks to my mom buying that Polaroid camera. The whole world is my studio. I was brought up in this neighborhood, Swansea. I call it the Lost Neighborhood. There's a viaduct, Interstate 70, that goes right through Swansea and has stopped all of good that's happened to the neighborhood. We don't have a grocery store. I was here before the Interstate went in, and I worked for Safeway. Safeway was right underneath where the Interstate is now. Soon as the Interstate went in, Safeway had to close the store. After Safeway closed the store, this whole neighborhood didn't have anything, and it hasn't had a grocery store for many a years. My family's lived here for 60 years, up until 3 years ago when my father passed away. My parents' house was just right across the alley here. When we moved into this neighborhood, it was a working class neighborhood. The train tracks were right behind my mom and dad's house. So we would wait for a slow train to come by, and then we would hitch a ride on the train. The park used to be full of kids. The neighborhoods used to be full of kids riding their bikes. We don't have that anymore because it's an older neighborhood now that people just lost interest in. That's why I call it the Lost Neighborhood. Any of my pictures, I like to show something that has some kind of meaning. With the Lost Neighborhood of Swansea, I want to show people with my art, my photography, the abandoned buildings that were here, that were homes for people. I want to show the people that something has to be done about the neighborhood. I've been trying to take photos of the Interstate now, how it's been, how they're tearing it up, how they're rebuilding the new one. Before the viaduct was here, there was just one road underneath. My Safeway store that I started working at was back here. All my photos are more of like a story. And as soon as they put this in, that's when the neighborhood sort of started going. And if my story brings something good to the neighborhood, that's a plus. My photos are to express what I feel about what's happening in the neighborhood in Denver, Cherry Creek neighborhood and Rhino and Highlands. They build them up, they make them up, them are nice. What happened to Swansea? What happened to Elyria and Glowville? It's sad, it makes me sad. When they first said that they were gonna put in the Interstate underneath, I had good feelings that, oh wow, that'll bring in a lot more stores or coffee shops, something productive for the community. I'm on a good path right now, and I like being on the path that I'm at. I like being the photographer. I had somebody tell me one time, I think it might have been when I was in rehab. I was in rehab 5 times, and that person told me, what do you like the best? And I said, my camera. To me, my camera is worth $1 million, even though it's only a small little camera, but it's worth $1 million because when I have my camera, I feel alive. Swansea, that's my hood. If you can always do it, just watch out, because I'm gonna shoot you. I feel excited. I want to let people know that if I can stop drinking, you can stop drinking. Because talking here lets me know that maybe I'm helping somebody else just by saying that you could do it. Life was good growing up here in Swansea. That's why I love the neighborhood so much, because Swansea is a neighborhood.